Have you ever looked at a woman who isn't the most beautiful in the room, yet men orbit around her like she's magnetic? It almost feels unfair because she isn't trying, she isn't performing, she isn't chasing, yet she's the one men remember. What if I told you that this isn't luck and it isn't coincidence? Most women spend years guessing what men want, but the truth is far more subtle and far more powerful than looks, charm, or even confidence. Men are drawn to something deeper, something psychological, something they rarely admit out loud. And today, I'm revealing the 4 rules women use, often without even realizing it, that trigger a man's desire on a level he can't explain, but absolutely feels. These are the rules that shift how a man sees you, how he values you, and how he responds to you emotionally, even if he swears he's not looking for anything serious. Because here's the reality: men don't fall for the woman who tries the hardest. They fall for the woman who activates something inside them, something ancient, emotional, instinctive. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand what men secretly want, you'll understand how to embody it naturally, effortlessly, and authentically, without playing games, pretending to be distant, or following scripts that feel fake. So if you've ever wondered why some women get chased while others get overlooked, stay with me. What you're about to hear might change everything you thought you knew about attraction. When a woman is truly self-possessed, something shifts in the dynamic instantly. Men can sense it before she even speaks. It's the calmness in her energy, the centered presence that shows she belongs to herself, not to the moment, not to the attention she receives, and definitely not to anyone's approval. This kind of inner grounding creates a gravitational pull that men feel but can't quite explain. It's not loud, it's not flashy, and it doesn't need to announce itself. It simply is. Self-possession means you move through life with an internal anchor. You don't panic when someone pulls away. You don't lose yourself when someone gets close. And you don't rearrange your world to impress someone you barely know. Instead, you engage from a place of self-trust. That confidence, quiet, steady, and unshakable, makes a man feel like he's interacting with a woman who has a whole world inside her, not someone waiting to be chosen. Most women lose their power the moment they make a man the center of their emotional universe. That's when anxiety, overthinking, and people-pleasing start flooding in. But a self-possessed woman operates differently. She responds instead of reacts. She expresses instead of explodes. She allows connection but doesn't cling to it. And men read that as emotional maturity, depth, and mystery all in one. This rule is powerful because it shifts the dynamic without you having to do anything extra. Your energy communicates that you value yourself enough not to be thrown off by someone else's moods or mixed signals. You show that you can enjoy a man without needing him to validate your worth. And here's the part most women underestimate: men deeply admire a woman who isn't impressed by superficial effort. When a man realizes he actually has to show up, consistently, honestly, and with real intention to earn a place in your life, that's when he starts investing. That's when he starts thinking about you when you're not around. That's when desire deepens. Self-possession doesn't make you difficult. It makes you unforgettable. And for men, that is irresistible. One of the biggest misconceptions in dating is the belief that independence pushes men away. In reality, it does the opposite. It pulls them in. When a woman has her own rhythm, her own passions, her own direction, she becomes someone a man wants to be part of, not someone he feels responsible for managing or rescuing. Independence doesn't mean being distant or cold. It means your life has purpose beyond the relationship, and that purpose is what creates real attraction. Think about it. People naturally desire what feels rare, what feels valuable, what feels like it can't be easily replaced. A woman who is grounded in her life, who pursues her goals, invests in her friendships, nurtures her hobbies, radiates that exact energy. Men don't interpret this as disinterest. They interpret it as strength, stability, and emotional richness. It tells them, you're welcome in my life, but you are not the foundation of my identity. And here's the powerful part: independence creates space. Space creates curiosity. Curiosity creates pursuit. When a woman isn't constantly available, not because she's playing games, but because she genuinely has a full life, a man starts to think more about her. He wonders what she's doing, how she's feeling, and what she's passionate about. That internal questioning fuels desire in a way constant togetherness never could. Men also feel safer with an independent woman. It tells them she won't collapse under the pressure of relationship ups and downs. She won't rely on him to regulate her emotions. She won't turn him into her only source of fulfillment. That emotional self-sufficiency builds trust, and trust is the foundation of long-term connection. What keeps a man chasing isn't dependency, it's the subtle contrast between closeness and autonomy. When you show affection but still maintain your world, your dreams, your momentum, you create a dynamic that feels alive and balanced. Men admire the woman who chooses them, not the one who needs them to feel whole. Independence doesn't threaten a man's attraction. It sharpens it, strengthens it, and gives it room to grow. Feminine energy isn't about being soft, sweet, or passive. It's about embodying a presence that is open, warm, receptive, and deeply connected to your emotions without being controlled by them. This kind of energy draws men in on a level that goes beyond logic. Men don't just notice feminine energy. They feel it. It changes how they speak, how they stand, how they behave around you, because it invites them into a dynamic where they naturally step into their masculine role without you ever having to ask. What instantly attracts men is the emotional atmosphere a woman creates when she embraces her feminine side. It's the way she listens with genuine attention instead of waiting for her turn to speak. It's the way she expresses her thoughts honestly instead of hiding behind sarcasm or defensiveness. It's the way she allows herself to receive compliments, affection, support without guilt or suspicion. Men are drawn to women who can receive because it signals trust, softness, and emotional availability. There's also a certain grace in feminine energy, and it has nothing to do with perfection. It's the way you move, the calmness in your voice, the subtle confidence in how you carry yourself. It's a quiet magnetism that makes a man want to lean in, to get closer, to understand you. Men feel more present, more grounded, and more alive when they're around a woman who embraces this energy. Feminine energy also expresses itself through emotional attunement. When you're able to communicate your feelings without blame, without chaos, and without shutting down, you create a space where a man feels safe to open up in return. Most men aren't used to that. They're used to being judged, rushed, or misunderstood. So when they meet a woman who can say, "Here's what I feel," or "This is what I need," in a calm, honest way, it clicks something inside them, something that makes them want to protect the connection instead of pull away from it. What makes feminine energy irresistible is that it's unforced. It's not a performance, it's you choosing to show up as your authentic self instead of masking your softness to appear strong. The truth is, your softness is strength. Your sensitivity is intelligence. Your emotional expressiveness is connection. And when you embody that naturally, men feel drawn to you in a way that is deep, instinctive, and unforgettable. When men encounter emotional softness in a woman, something shifts inside them in a way they rarely talk about. Softness isn't weakness. Softness isn't fragility. Softness is presence. It's emotional openness without chaos, honesty without attack, and vulnerability without losing yourself. And for a man, that softness feels like a deep invitation, one that draws him closer, even if he didn't expect to be drawn in at all. Most men grow up learning to guard their emotions. They're taught to stay composed, stay logical, stay in control. So when they meet a woman who expresses her feelings with clarity and calmness, it doesn't overwhelm them, it relaxes them. It disarms the emotional armor they've worn for years. It signals that this is someone they can open up to, someone who won't punish them for being human. Emotional softness is the moment when you say how you feel without turning it into a test or a demand. It's when you show your disappointment without dramatics, your joy without overthinking, your care without expecting something in return. Men interpret this as emotional maturity, and even more importantly, emotional safety. It makes them want to protect the connection rather than run from it. There's a quiet power in a woman who can say, "This hurt me," or "I really appreciate that," with simplicity and sincerity. Men hear that and think, finally, someone I can understand, someone I can trust. They don't feel judged or pressured. They feel included in your emotional world. And that inclusion creates a kind of intimacy that men don't forget. Softness also communicates that you're in touch with yourself. You're not hiding behind pride, silence, or defensiveness. You're choosing understanding over conflict, connection over control. That emotional clarity allows a man to be the best version of himself around you. It gives him space to step up, to take initiative, to show care, because he knows it will be received, not rejected. When a woman embraces emotional softness, men don't see her as needy or delicate. They see her as warm, grounded, and genuine. It makes them want to treat her better, speak more gently, act more intentionally. Softness makes a man feel like he's with someone who sees his humanity, not just his actions. And the truth is, emotional softness is one of the deepest forms of feminine power. It reaches a man where logic can't. Mystery isn't about being confusing, distant, or playing hard to get. True mystery comes from being a woman who reveals herself slowly, intentionally, and with discernment. It's the kind of energy that makes a man curious, not because you're hiding something, but because you're not rushing to put your entire world on display for someone you barely know. Men find that incredibly compelling. It makes them want to explore you, understand you, earn access to the deeper layers of who you are. Boundaries work the same way. A boundary is not a wall, it's clarity. It's knowing what you will and won't accept, what you're available for, and how you expect to be treated. When a woman communicates her boundaries calmly and confidently, men interpret that as self-respect. They don't feel controlled. They feel challenged in a healthy way. It signals that being close to you is a privilege, not a given, and that instantly raises your value in their eyes. The combination of mystery and boundaries creates a dynamic where a man feels both drawn in and awakened. He knows he can approach you, but he also knows he can't coast. You're not the woman who gives everything up front, overshares, or tries to force intimacy. You allow connection to unfold naturally, piece by piece. That pacing builds anticipation, and anticipation builds desire. Men are deeply attracted to women who maintain their emotional and personal space, not because it creates distance, but because it creates respect. When you don't drop everything for him, when you don't bend your values to keep him, when you don't say yes just to avoid conflict, he sees you as someone who takes herself seriously, and that makes him step up with more intention. Mystery also means you keep parts of your life vibrant and private. Your plans, your dreams, your passions, your inner world. A man doesn't need access to everything immediately. When he realizes there's more to discover, he invests more time, more effort, more emotion. It becomes a journey he wants to continue. The art of mystery and boundaries isn't about withholding. It's about revealing yourself at a pace that honors your worth. It's about letting a man earn his way deeper into your life, not through pressure, but through consistency and genuine desire. And that balance is what keeps attraction alive long after the initial spark fades. Space is one of the most misunderstood parts of attraction. Many women fear giving space because it feels like pulling back, losing connection, or risking that the man might drift away. But in reality, space is where desire grows. It's the environment where a man's curiosity, interest, and emotional engagement start to intensify. Space isn't distance, it's breathing room. And that breathing room allows him to miss you, think about you, and re-engage with intention instead of obligation. Men process emotions differently. They often need moments alone to reset, to reflect, and to sort through their feelings. When a woman doesn't crowd that process, when she doesn't chase, question, or panic, she communicates trust. She shows that she's not dependent on constant reassurance, and that she believes in the strength of the connection. That calm confidence creates a dynamic where a man naturally gravitates back toward her with more clarity and desire. The powerful thing about space is that it amplifies presence. When you're always available, always responding instantly, always trying to stay connected, the interaction loses some of its spark. There's no contrast. But when a man has moments without you, your presence becomes something he actively looks forward to. He begins to notice the silence, the absence, and the shift in his emotional state. That noticing turns into longing, and longing turns into action. Space also signals that you have a life, a full, meaningful, vibrant life that doesn't revolve around his attention. Men admire that. It makes them feel like they're pursuing someone of value, not someone waiting around for the next message or the next plan. When you maintain your routines, your passions, your goals, you create a natural polarity. He leans in because you're not leaning too hard. Another reason space works is because it distinguishes genuine interest from convenience. A man who's truly drawn to you will move forward on his own. He will reach out, initiate, plan, and show effort without needing to be reminded. Space reveals who is actually invested. Ultimately, space isn't about pulling away, it's about allowing connection to breathe. It lets the bond evolve at a natural pace, rather than being smothered by constant interaction. And for men, that sense of emotional freedom isn't just attractive, it's essential. It keeps the chase alive, keeps the attraction fresh, and keeps the relationship feeling balanced and intentional. Confidence that radiates effortlessly isn't loud, and it isn't a performance. It's not about taking up space or acting bold for attention. Real confidence is quiet, steady, and unmistakable. It's the feeling a woman carries when she knows who she is, what she stands for, and what she brings to the table without needing to announce it. Men are incredibly drawn to this kind of confidence because it feels authentic and unshakable. It tells them that you're not easily influenced, not easily intimidated, and not easily shaken by temporary emotions or external circumstances. Effortless confidence shows up in the small moments. It's in the way you walk into a room without shrinking yourself. It's in the way you share your opinions without apologizing for having them. It's in the way you maintain your standards without getting angry when someone can't meet them. It's calm, it's grounded, it's power without tension. And men admire it deeply because it creates a sense of emotional stability that feels both inspiring and comforting. Confidence also means trusting your ability to handle whatever happens, whether a relationship works out or not. When a woman isn't terrified of losing someone, she naturally behaves differently. She doesn't chase, she doesn't beg, she doesn't cling to ambiguity. She allows things to unfold because she knows she can navigate outcomes. That kind of inner security is magnetic. It makes a man see you as a woman who values herself, not someone who's just hoping to be chosen. Another part of effortless confidence is self-expression. When you allow yourself to laugh freely, speak your truth, dress in a way that makes you feel powerful, and stand by your boundaries without guilt, you project a woman who lives from her core, not from fear or insecurity. Men feel energized by that. It sparks respect and admiration, which are essential for real attraction. What many women don't realize is that men don't fall for perfection, they fall for presence. A confident woman doesn't pretend to be flawless. She embraces her strengths, acknowledges her imperfections, and moves through the world with a quiet belief that she is already enough. And because she believes it, others do too. Effortless confidence isn't about proving anything, it's about owning who you are. And when you do, men notice it instantly, and they don't forget it. If you want these 4 rules to transform your relationships, the key is to apply them in small, consistent ways starting today. You don't need to overhaul your personality or become someone completely different. What matters is shifting your energy, your choices, and the way you show up in moments that count. These rules work best when they become part of your natural behavior rather than a temporary strategy. Begin with self-possession. Today, choose one situation where you choose calm over reaction. Maybe it's not replying instantly to a message when you're feeling anxious. Maybe it's taking a breath before you speak. Maybe it's simply reminding yourself that your value doesn't change based on someone else's attention. That one act builds inner stability, and men feel that instantly. Then tap into independence by doing something for yourself before doing something for anyone else. That could mean prioritizing your plans, going to that workout class, spending time with friends, or investing in your personal goals. When you put energy into your life, you automatically become more attractive because you radiate fulfillment instead of seeking it. Feminine energy can be practiced in small gestures. Slow down your pace. Listen without interrupting. Receive compliments graciously. Express your feelings with soft honesty rather than fear or frustration. These subtle shifts create warmth, and warmth builds emotional closeness. For mystery and boundaries, start by saying no to one thing that doesn't align with your standards. You don't owe explanations. You don't need to justify yourself. You simply honor your values. And when it comes to mystery, keep some things for later. Share yourself gradually. Let people earn their way into the deeper parts of your life. As for confidence, practice it by trusting your decisions. Stand tall when you walk. Say what you genuinely think. Don't shrink yourself to make others comfortable. Confidence grows every time you choose authenticity over approval. The truth is, these rules work because they bring you back to your core. They help you become the woman who's calm, grounded, open, and deeply self-assured. The woman men chase not because she plays games, but because her presence feels rare and unforgettable. Start with one shift today, and watch the dynamic of your relationships begin to change in ways that feel natural, empowering, and completely aligned with who you are. As we wrap up, I want you to remember one simple truth. Attraction isn't about tricks, manipulation, or pretending to be someone you're not. It's about becoming the most magnetic version of yourself, the version that embodies confidence, self-possession, independence, and authentic feminine energy. These are not tactics to make someone chase you. They are the natural expressions of a woman who knows her worth and honors it in every interaction. When you live from this place, you don't need to force attention. You don't need to chase, and you don't need to overanalyze every text or interaction. Men notice energy first, behavior second, and everything else follows naturally. The 4 rules we discussed, self-possession, independence, feminine energy, and confidence, are not separate skills. They are layers of your presence that, when combined, create a woman who is irresistible without trying. When you carry yourself with grounded self-possession, you communicate that your life is complete even without external validation. When you cultivate independence, you show that you have your own world, passions, and purpose, which naturally sparks curiosity and desire. When you embrace feminine energy, you invite emotional connection, warmth, and receptivity that men crave. And when you radiate effortless confidence, you inspire respect and admiration, showing that you are already enough. Implementing these rules doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't have to be perfect. The power comes from small, consistent choices each day, choosing calm over reaction, choosing fulfillment over dependence, choosing honesty over pretense, and choosing presence over performance. Every time you practice these behaviors authentically, you reinforce your value and elevate the way men perceive and respond to you. Remember, the goal isn't to manipulate or control anyone. The goal is to embody a woman who feels whole, grounded, and magnetic from within. When you do, the right men won't just notice, you'll inspire genuine attraction, respect, and desire that lasts. So take what you've learned today, apply it gradually, and watch as the dynamics of your relationships begin to shift. The chase, the connection, and the admiration you seek don't come from trying harder. They come from showing up as the most authentic, empowered, and radiant version of yourself. Your presence is your power, and when you own it, men can't help but be drawn to you.